Good evening, people. Been telling y'all pretty much all month that today, February 11th, is my dad's birthday. Um, February 11th, 1951. He would have been 70 years old today. He left us when he was 40 years old and gained his wings. And I pay tribute to him with the tattoo on my shoulder. It's an angel wing. It wraps around to my heart. And it's got his name on it. Symbolizing that he's my guardian angel. Let me tell you some of the things I remember about him. He wasn't always perfect. He had his flaws, especially when he was younger. But as he matured, as he got older, he got better, which is what I was talking about yesterday. I want to continue to get better as I get older. So he changed a lot of his ways and stopped doing a lot of the things that he used to do. But one of the most important things he did was he found God. And that really changed his life. And before he died, he made sure we found God. I remember he worked on the railroad. I think I told y'all this the other day. And he would be gone for days because, once he get on the train, he's got to ride the train wherever they got to go to and bring it back. But every time he left, he had 2 clipboards, one for me, one for my brother. And he would leave pages of what we call clipboard work. And in this clipboard work, we would have to read through everything that was on there, find the intentional grammatical spelling errors, and write something explaining how we understood what we read. And it was pages and pages of Bible verses that he would get on his computer back when computers first came out with a dot matrix printer and a DOS operating system. And he would just type all of this stuff out, print out 2 copies of it, one for me, one for my brother. And when he got back from work, he would ask us for our clipboard work. We had to turn it in, and he would grade us on it. Maybe that's why I don't like writing papers and reading stuff to this day, but I learned a lot with it. I learned more than I thought I learned. And that's one of the things that I'm forever grateful for. One last story. We didn't have much as we were growing up. He worked on the railroad, but he had to pay his bills and stuff. And many years prior to that, someone who did his taxes messed up his taxes, so he was paying a lot of money back to the IRS. But remember, he got a bonus at work one time, and out of his bonus, he told my brother and I that he wanted to get him a stereo system, and he was going to give us money to do, whatever we wanted to do with our room. So, he bought a stereo system. He gave us money to get our water beds back in the day. We painted our rooms, new carpet in the house, just some small renovations, right? Fast forward, running short on money. And every time we would run short on money, he would take his stereo system and go to the pawn shop, put it in the pawn shop, get some money to carry us through till he got paid again. So I remember a couple of times, let me tell this one. I remember one time I can't remember where we were. We were somewhere. And my brother was about to buy, my dad was about to buy my brother a nice pair of shoes. And I didn't ask for anything. And I think we're out at the mall at Columbus Square Mall in Columbus. And my brother's trying on his shoes. He's getting all excited about his shoes. And I'm just sitting on the bench. And, I got my legs crossed and I'm playing with a hole in the bottom of my shoe, just minding my business, really not thinking much of it. And my dad looks over at me. And he doesn't say anything. He tells my brother that instead of getting him that one pair of shoes, he's going to buy a cheaper pair of shoes for both of us. My brother was fish grease hot, but he understands now. And in order to get the money to buy those shoes, he took his stereo system that he loved to the pawn shop to get enough money to buy some shoes. And when we wanted to go to the movies, I've seen him go in his wallet, pull out the last $5 or $10 in his wallet and hand it to us so we can go to the movies. The next day, he's taking his stereo system to the pawn shop. So what that taught me is that when you love someone, when you really care about someone, they are more important than the money that you have. Love is more valuable than money. And I opened up by saying that, he made his mistakes. The biggest mistake that I know he regrets was that he never got a chance to meet his daughter. He always talked about her. He always said he wanted to meet her. But as time went by, as the years passed by, he grew increasingly scared to meet her. And eventually, he passed without taking the opportunity to meet her. There's no doubt in my mind that he had tremendous love for her. No doubt whatsoever. But he let his own fears and insecurities prevent him from doing that. So what that taught me was, when you love someone, take advantage of the opportunity right now to tell them. Because you're not guaranteed to have another opportunity tomorrow. Tasha, I know Dad loves you, and he's still looking down on you, and he still regrets having never met you. None of that makes it right, none of that makes it better. I wish you could have met him so you can understand how great of a person he really was. Y'all have a blessed evening. Happy birthday, Dad. Love you. Make progress, not excuses.
Hey, hey, hey.